What's happening down there, Adam Gilchrist? Come in.
No, there's plenty happening, thanks, Howie. Nathan Lyon straight in it. They know how important the fans are to the game of cricket, and so many record numbers have turned up to this Adelaide Test match, and they're getting, well, they're loving every moment of it. Nathan Lyon, a spell of 8 overs late in the day, 3 for 15. He picked up the GOAT, and they were big wickets, and that's why he's the second most successful Test match bowler, certainly in the men's game in Australian cricket history. So, yeah, wonderful scenes down here. Real good vibe around Isa Guha, Waugh and Brett Lee. Isa at the start of the day, we knew that England had to fight, and they did do that. They gave themselves somewhat of a chance, hanging on just by their bare knuckles.
Yeah, exactly right, hanging on by threads. Ben Stokes started off the day, and you sort of wonder where he was yesterday, obviously nursing a niggle. Came in, extracted the wicket, 6 wickets to fall in that morning session. They took one into lunch, Australia. England very much took that first session, but it was Australia with the advantage coming into the afternoon. And then the patience that they showed for the rest of the day, Australia, 4 wickets in that final session. They do it all the time. How many times have we seen it from them? There's a partnership that's formed from the opposition, and they just keep coming back. But that's because of the pressure that's applied from every single one of those bowlers.
Yes, indeed. 435 was the total that they were set. England, we might have a look at the wickets that fell, Junior. There was 6 of them. The highlights, thanks to Harvey Norman, and, well, once they come out and you're chasing a total with a 4 on it in the 4th innings of the game, history shows it's always going to be a tough battle.
Yeah.
You need to be tight in defence early, and that wasn't good enough from Duckett.
Well, that was crucial. That was just before the lunch break. Ben Duckett had to get through there, played a very, very ordinary shot, trying to angle the ball down to third man. And then what a catch from Marnus Labuschagne, Ollie Pope, that defensive push outside the off stump. Brilliant work in the slips. Then Joe Root, they put together a good partnership, Crawley and Root, and Joe Root has been out to Pat Cummins 13 times now. Just that little nibble away, indecisive from Joe Root. Then Harry Brook was getting quite expansive during this little bit of play. Went for the reverse sweep. It spun and dropped on Brook. He exposed his stumps, and Nathan Lyon was good enough to just clip that leg stump. And this was huge. This was an absolute beauty from Nathan Lyon. Ben Stokes maybe could have been a little bit more forward in his footwork, but it drifted in, it dropped, it spun, and then great bit of work by Alex Carey. The half volley, Zach Crawley was expecting it to spin. It slid on nicely, and Alex Carey, he's been unbelievable behind the stumps.
Well, he certainly have. 7 dismissals now in the match. Brett Lee, Pat Cummins, 3 wickets, 1 in each of his spells. So there was that little period before lunch, then he came back, and that was the one where Marnus took the great catch, and then he comes back later on and gets rid of Joe Root. That consistency, it's ruthless.
It is, and the backup 3 from the first innings too. But when he's come on, he's actually executed his plans beautifully. He's, nailed that beautiful length, that perfect line. His pace is not back to 145 or 140 yet, but first game back. So as the games go on, he'll get quicker and quicker. But he executed those plans beautifully, and to get Joe Root once again, they set him up. They set the trap a few straight, and then a little bit wider, that perfect length, nicked him off again.
He brought himself on exactly for that breakthrough. He does it so many times, Pat Cummins, but when you're coming back from injury, you wonder how much you can put into it. And we saw he wasn't quite up his normal pace, but he was still able to extract that extra bounce. And the plans and the execution, the strategy, it's all there in his mind. He was able to deliver, and he's just such an outstanding bowler. And he got what he wanted from the rest of the bowlers as well.
Yeah, he did indeed, and you mentioned that he set up Joe Root. Nathan Lyon knows how to set a player up too, and an interesting little battle with Harry Brook, Junior, in the build-up. And you mentioned it just when we watched those dismissals. Brook, he became a bit more expansive in his game, but you felt like that could open the door for Australia.
He hadn't made a boundary, hit a boundary for a long time, and he looked to up the ante. But Zach Crawley was playing that reverse sweep, but with much more control. Harry Brook tries to hit it so hard, and when you're trying to hit it hard, you sometimes lose your balance. He didn't quite get his body in the right position. He should have covered his stumps, but it was a little bit slower from Nathan Lyon. So give credit to Nathan Lyon. He just dragged it back, and that meant that Harry Brook was in that position too early, and he couldn't adjust, being a premeditated reverse sweep.
Yeah, and we wondered, if when Ben Stokes walked out here, we just wondered, can he go to the well one more time? Can he just have one last-ditch effort? And it was, well, it proved to be a bridge too far. Being a Nathan Lyon was on a bit of a roll. He had the tail up, he had the crowd behind him, and he loves bowling in the 4th innings of a match, and he just set him up really, really nicely too, with just getting fuller and fuller and fuller to a player that wanted to go back to him.
Yeah, and just have a look at the pace as well. 92, That one there looped it up 88, a lot fuller as well. 89. So you see him trying to dart that in. 89 Ks, and that one there, you see that natural variation of that deviation that could go down leg side. 89 Ks, he came a little bit wide of the crease and just bamboozled him. I know, look, he's trying his hardest. Could he go in the well one more time? He was trying, but he just got undone by what was a fantastic ball.
He's been well supported by his wicketkeeper. All the bowlers have been well supported by Alex Carey. You mentioned it to Kez in that interview just then, Isha. What did he say when he came down? Was there... So he didn't give much away, did he? But I suspect that, yeah, all this encouragement just helps.
I think it's partly that, really. We know Nathan Lyon. He's done so much for his country. He's got that many wickets, but we know how nervous he can get sometimes and in his head. So I think Alex Carey, if anything, just settling him down. He knows Nathan Lyon so very well, knows exactly what he needs to say to him. More energy on the ball, keep going with it, building that confidence. And sometimes that's just what you need from your teammate. And Alex Carey is one of the best teammates in this team.
What a noise it makes when it hits the pegs. I wonder if that's my ringtone.
Well, the point you make about Nathan Lyon, there was a time where he felt too much expectation, Junior, on him to do the job in the fourth innings of a game. But over the last, I guess, 5 or 6 years, he's come into his own. Yeah,
once you start doing it, then the pressure releases. I think he's a much more relaxed cricketer these days, Nathan Lyon. I mean, why wouldn't he be? He's got so many wickets. I don't know why he's got any doubt with his own ability. But, yeah, I guess when people say, you know, you haven't won us games on the last day, I suppose it does sort of annoy you a little bit. But I think he's out of that. He's not in that pigeonhole anymore. He's proving how great he is now.
The Thunder did beat the Sixers at the end in the finals last year, so stick around for the big bash.
Good luck tonight.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah, a bit of rivalry here. The old ex-governor, I'm not sure if Junior's still in charge, but being up,
still
he's a title-winning player with the Sydney Sixers, so stick around for that. Well, I guess, Isha, one of the positives of the day, England did bowl well early, but then with the bat in hand, Zach Crawley, it just looked like for a moment he could get through to stumps, but he was positive mindset. Thanks to Amy, have a look at his boundaries. He was looking good from most of that innings.
Yeah, he was. And you just think back to the pair he made in the first Test match. He came out on the back of that with plenty of resilience. So good in terms of his discipline in the channel early. And then anything that was slightly fuller, he was happy to capitalise on, to the short ball as well. I thought he got going really nicely against spin when Joe Root was there in particular. And then he was just knocking the ball around. He looked solid in the middle. I think this is a pitch that really suits him. It was coming on nicely for him to be able to play all around the ground, really. So deeply disappointing from him that he wasn't able to go onto the 3 figures and hang in there.
Yeah, they needed someone to go big in that top 4 or 5, really, Junior. He was brought undone by a nice bit of bowling in combination with the wicket keeper. It was pretty sharp work late in the day.
Indeed. He'd be disappointed he missed that, but it did slide on natural variation. But I think that is a breakthrough innings for Zach Crawley. I know he's played 61 tests, but I reckon the way he played today, if he bats like that in his career going forward, he will make a lot more runs. You know, he's much more disciplined. He had a really clear game plan. He played nice and straight, let the ball go, didn't look to over-attack while still being positive. And I just think if he can keep doing that, he's going to be a good player for a lot more Test matches.
They've just been so sharp in the field, haven't they, Australia? Pretty much throughout the series, but today being a Marnus, he was off and running, he was flying. He's taken a catch that rivals Steve Smith's one up at the Gabba. It was a great grab, and he had to get about 2 metres closer than normal because the ball hadn't been carrying.
That's a beauty, and Junior did a great presentation at the tea break. You've got to stand close. That's flown to him 0.6, I think 5 of a second, just over half a second. But look how much he enjoyed it. First of all, a great ball by Pat Cummins, but the mindset to go and to go quick through his hand, make sure it didn't take any turf, a great catch. And they're the moments as a bowler where you go, wow, the team behind the stumps have got my back.
How quick did he get up? He was laying on his back and he zipped up and took off.
Little jack in the box.
What a catch.
Yeah, he's a live wire, no doubt about that. Okay, Ish, we're at that point of the day.
How long we got?
The better bold prediction.
Well, you got it right yesterday.
Yeah.
Come on, Ish.
Wasn't so bold.
Yeah, you said it was going to go to day 5.
What have you got for us?
That's exactly
Ish,
right.
what do you got?
The rain's not going to come, so make sure you tune in. All of the Australian supporters around the country will be tuning in to watch an Ashes victory for Australia, and it's going to be done at 1 o'clock, and we're going to be having a tequila.
All right, there we go.
Right.
Of that you can probably be certain. That's not overly bold, that's a certainty.
Yeah,
but
that's a certainty.
Anyway, we are going
Happy
into
with that.
day 5. Yeah, no bias in the commentary box. Elisa Healy just giving them all out. Well, when they go to second slip, they should be given out.
Were you watching the races there, was he?
No, I wasn't. No. No.
I think that was Kerry, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was him before day 5 tomorrow coming up. It may well most likely be the day Australia win the series and retain the Ashes. It starts at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Daylight Saving Time. Big day, big day. It's been a long while coming, this, for the Australians. They didn't close the series out in 2023. They had to settle for a drawn series, and there was all sorts of chatter after that about moral victories and who did what, but Pat Cummins gets his chance tomorrow to get his hands on that urn and raise the trophy. He's got 3, Lyon's got 3. Who gets 5 for out of those 2?
Both? Enough wickets left in there? Yeah.
Happy
2
with
each.
that?
2 each.
Cummins, definitely Cummins.
Cummins, you think?
Yep.
8 in the match.
It'll be smiles all around, hopefully, for the Australians. Oh, maybe, who knows? Miracles may happen.
Might rain.
Here in
Just
Adelaide. May rain. A little bit of wet weather around predicted. But whatever the case, tune in 9:30 Eastern Daylight Saving Time tomorrow. That's the end of day 4 for